Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see the chaining technique, which is a collision resolution technique of HashMap. So let us get started. Let us assume that our hash function is h and we have n number of elements. We will assume that our hash function is a simple hash function which is only mod 10. Now if we take a map which is of size 4 indexed from 0 to 3, these are all keys. Okay. Then let's take some elements and we will try to put them in the map. Let's say we have element 201 initially. If we apply mod 10 on it, then the key value will be 1. Therefore this 1 will be storing value 201, right? We are using the chaining technique, therefore we will be storing the elements in a linked list. Now comes 23. So 23 is having a key value as 23 mod 10, which will be 3. So this linked list which is at key 3 will be storing the value 23, right? Now the value 30 comes. 30 mod 10 is 0, so this will be the key. We will go to 0 and we will store this 30. Again we have 22, so 22 mod 10 is 2, therefore we will go to key 2 and we will store here 22, right? Now once we have stored all these elements, now what is the next step? Let's say we have got another element which is, let's say, 11. Now 11 mod 10 is equals to 1. Therefore this 11 will go to key 1. But key 1 is already having value 201, right? So this is a collision. In this case, we will be inserting this value at the head. So I will just be showing how to insert at the tail, but actually we will be inserting the elements at the head so as to optimize this entire algorithm of insertion. Now this 11 will be stored here, right? Now in case of collision, we are storing the elements in a form of a linked list. Now what happens if all the key values collide basically? So you can have a sequence like 201, 21, 11, 51, right? For all these values, the key value will be equals to 1. So what will happen in this case? You will find that for this key value 1, all the values will be like 201, then 21, then 11, and then 51. So whenever you want to search for an element, let's say you want to search for this 51, then you will calculate the key value. So key value will be 51 mod 10, which will be 1. We will go to 1 and we will have to search this entire linked list, right? So we are basically traversing this entire list, which can take maximum of order of n time, where n is the total number of elements, right? So this is the problem in this case. So what will be the time complexity here? For the case of insertion, we just need to calculate the key by using the hash function, which will take order of 1 time. Once we know the key, even if the linked list is having any size, we don't care about it. We will be inserting only at the head. So insertion at the head of a linked list is order of 1 time, right? Therefore combining both these operations is also order of 1. Therefore insertion will take order of 1 time in this case. Now what about searching? For searching, you will be given an element to search. Let's say it is 201. You will be giving this element to the hash function. So you will be calculating hash on this. You will get certain key. So we will go to that key value in our map. We will go to that key value and we will be searching for this entire linked list. In the worst case, all the elements will be present in the same linked list, and therefore the time complexity can be order of n. The same goes for deletion as well, because for deleting an element, you actually need to search that element, right? After searching, deletion can be done in just order of 1 time for linked list, but for searching it is order of n. Therefore, deletion will also have order of n time. I hope you got these cases. Now, how do we improve the time complexity? Is there any possible way? If we uniformly distribute the elements over the hash map, then the time complexity on average will decrease. Now how it is working? Let's assume that we are having n number of elements and our hash map is having m number of slots, right? So here I have shown an example where you have m slots from 0 to m minus 1 and the total number of elements are n, right? So what will be the searching time in this case? As I have already shown, each of these elements can go to just a single slot, and so it will form a single linked list, and therefore the search time will be order of n. So how can we improve the search time? Is there any way? Now it is all about what type of hash function we are really using. If the hash function is not good enough, then actually multiple values will be repeatedly be having the same key value. Okay, so we will assume such a hash function which will be providing perfect uniform distribution, right? And what does this perfect uniform distribution mean? In the previous case, I had shown you that all the elements might be falling into a single linked list. So in order to avoid such a case, what we will do is, if there are n elements and there are m slots, then we will be distributing all these n elements over m slots equally. So how many elements will each of these slots get? They will get n by m number of elements each, right? So here n value was equals to 4 and m value was also equals to 4. So if you equally distribute them, then each of them will be getting one element, right? Now the searching becomes much faster due to this equal distribution, because even if you hit a key and there are multiple elements, you will get maximum of n by m number of elements for a single linked list for each of the key. Therefore, the worst case time complexity will not be order of n in this case. It will come down to order of n by m, because the longest linked list possible in this case, when you have a perfect uniform distribution, will only be n by m. Therefore, time complexity will also be order of n by m, right? So this is how you can decrease the search time. It will be now order of n by m. Now if you also consider about the search time for the key, that means the hash calculation time, then it will just be order of 1. And if you include it in the time complexity, it will be order of 1 plus n by m. This n by m is nothing but the load factor. Okay. Now let's take an example. Let's assume that you are having 12 number of elements and your hash map is only having 4 slots. Then each of the slot can have a maximum chain size of only 3, which is 12 by 4, since we are assuming a hash function which will be giving us perfect uniform distribution, right? So is this feasible? Well, we cannot guarantee any hash function will be giving perfect uniform distribution for all types of values. So what we will do is, we will assume that the hash function will be giving us perfect uniform distribution on average. Okay, it will not give us perfect uniform distribution all the time, but on average it will be like a perfect uniform distribution. Okay, so now previously, if we were guaranteed that the hash function will be giving perfect uniform distribution, then the time complexity will be order of n by m, which is the worst case time complexity of search time. Now if we are given that on average we will be getting this perfect uniform distribution, then our time complexity will now be not worst case. It will not be worst case, but it will be average case. Okay, so for average case time complexity, we will use theta. So the searching time will now be theta of 1 plus n by m instead of order of 1 plus n by m. I hope you understood it. Now if we can represent n equals to km, okay, where k is not a very large integer, then this k can be called as a constant, right? Then the search time in this case can be, it was already theta of 1 plus n by m. If you replace n by km, then this will be 1 plus km by m will get cancelled out, and so it will be theta of 1 plus k. And if k is not very large, then we can say that the searching time is order of 1, like theta of 1 on average. This is the average search time. So since we have average search time of theta of 1, therefore average deletion time will also be theta of 1, because for deletion we need to search an element, and searching is taking theta of 1 time, and once we search the element, removal of the element is just order of 1 time. Therefore combining these two will be equals to theta of 1 time, right? So I hope you got the understanding about, if we use a good hash function, then it will impact the time complexity a lot, right? So let us just compare the time complexity. So this part on the left hand side is the time complexity when we are not considering a hash function giving us a perfect uniform distribution on average. This is not giving us that luxury. So in this case, the linked list size can be maximum order of n. Therefore, insertion will still be order of 1 since we are inserting at head, but searching and deletion time will be order of n. Now if we have a perfect uniform distribution on average, then the average searching time will be theta of 1 and the average deletion time will be theta of 1. So this part is far better than the left hand side. The insertion part here will still remain the same because we are actually inserting at the head of the linked list. So this is only possible if n equals to km and k is not very large, so that we can take k for constant. Okay, I hope you understood this point as well. Now what is the advantage of chaining? Why do we even chain? The first advantage is that we can store multiple values at the same slot by using the linked list formation. Okay, so this is the first advantage. The second advantage is that deletion will be much simpler. So this part, the second part, you will understand once you complete the open addressing, which I will be explaining in the next video. So what is the disadvantage in this case? A lot of memory is actually wasted because we are actually using pointers. So in C++ implementation, if you are having a 64-bit architecture, then actually you will be consuming 8 bytes for one pointer. So in order to maintain this linked list, we will be using a pointer, at least a pointer for one node, right? And we have a table which will be basically array of pointers, because the table will not be storing any node, it will just be pointers. It will just be containing the head pointers of each of the linked list. Okay, so you can see that it will consume a lot more memory as compared to if you just had an array. Okay, so I hope you understood all about chaining. In the next video I will be talking about the open addressing, and then you will get a complete picture of how this chaining and open addressing differ, as well as why do we even use it. And you will also understand the situations where we will use chaining or open addressing. So this is it about chaining. If you like our video, then do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of these programming videos. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.